the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 98 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. My name is Adam and I'm one of three of us today. We couldn't quite get the full set. Sam isn't here, but John is.
Hello.
And Brett is.
Hey.
Yeah, Sam, he's still in Japan.
It feels like he's been there for a long time, actually, because he left literally straight after Rumble.
I think they might not be letting him back in the country for some reason. Anything going on that we should be aware of?
No, it's because he's a sex tourist, though, isn't it? Notorious sex tourist, Sam.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Sam is still in Japan. Hopefully he's been watching some wrestling while he's out there, so he can tell us all about that in next week's episode. And the fact he's out there is one of the reasons why we have not done a podcast for 3 weeks.
It's not
mad.
We had 2 weeks off. Surely.
It's 3 weeks if you count from pod to today, from the last pod.
I don't do it. I count weeks I don't have to do it, so that's 2.
Okay. We missed 2 weeks, which we always try to avoid. You know, sometimes we'll do like 2 weeks here or 3 weeks or whatever and maybe miss the odd week. But missing 2 just felt like an absolute lifetime.
It has felt like a long time.
I've forgotten what we do.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you watch the pay-per-view we're going to talk about.
Witty wrestling banter, Brett. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah, come on, let's do it. What have you been up to, Brett? Have you done anything wrestling related?
Wrestling related? Just drawing wrestling posters and t-shirts.
I love the new poster as well, Brett.
Oh, shit. The new Riptide poster is incredible.
Yeah, it
is.
Brett's not happy with it.
No, people like it. It's not my favourite one today, I have to say. But
okay.
Oh, what is your favourite Riptide poster you've done?
Oh, there we go. There's a question. Try to remember them now.
The Mambo one coming out of the helicopter I think that's one of my favourites.
What's that?
It's probably the Blackwater one. All the spooky ghoul people, zombie Mambo and all that.
The original Rumble one was good, but then they were just all random wrestlers, weren't they, rather than the Riptide roster?
Yeah, no, I don't like having to draw the pier.
Okay.
It wasn't fun. It's
Fair
never
enough.
fun having to draw the pier.
Josh, Tom, Riptide, if you're listening, just bear that in mind.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing it soon. When do they have their Rumble?
Oh, yeah, it feels like it is around now, doesn't it, usually?
Yeah, watch out, Brett. Uh-oh. Maybe another Brighton landmark. Maybe the British Airways i360.
Oh, this is going to be hard not to make that look like a wang, though, isn't it? It's going to be really hard.
Massive wang.
Yeah.
You can do it, Brett. I believe in you.
John, have you been doing anything wrestling related or interesting?
I watched, is it New Beginnings? I watched Moxley versus Suzuki and Naito versus Kenta over the weekend.
That happened. Didn't even know that had happened yet.
How was it?
Sometimes when I watch wrestling, I kind of think, oh, it'd be so cool to be a wrestler. And then I watch like Moxley versus Suzuki. I'm like, nope, not for me.
Yeah, sounds about right. I haven't really done anything particularly interesting over the last 3 weeks when it comes to wrestling, I'm afraid. I've watched... what I'm pleased about is I've been keeping up to date with NXT and AEW, and I've watched even a few segments from Raw and SmackDown. So it's just nice to be up to date. I mean, obviously we had this Takeover coming up, so I wanted to make sure that I was fully up to speed with everything on NXT.
Yeah.
I haven't really been... I wanted to watch some of that New Japan stuff, but I haven't got around to it yet, but I'm sure.
It's worth watching.
Sure I will.
Mox Suzuki, definitely.
Okay. So last time we did a podcast, it was for the Royal Rumble all those weeks ago. This time we're going to be talking about NXT, and for the first time ever, we've got a full takeover to review without any other WWE pay-per-views getting in the way. So we're going to talk about NXT TakeOver Portland after this.
Balor misses. Johnny Gargano on the apron, and Johnny Gargano spearing Finn Balor off the apron.
NXT TakeOver Portland took place at the Moda Center in Portland, of course. The attendance, unknown as per usual with WWE these days. The comms team, Mauro Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness and Beth Phoenix. And the card, which is usually read by Sam, this week will be read by Who am I going to put on the spot? I reckon Brett. Go for it, Brett.
Okay, so the card we have, kicking it off, Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic for the North American title. Then it's Tegan Knox versus Dakota Kai in a street fight.
Yeah.
Then we have Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, just because they're both great. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the women's title. The Undisputed Era versus the Broserweights for the tag title. And Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa for the men's title.
Well done, Brett, because I put a little stumbling block in there on purpose to hopefully trip someone up when I put the running order together, but you missed it.
What was it?
Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Street Fighter instead of Street Fight. Wow. You absolute card, John.
You've got to start small, Adam. That's how you affect the system. Start small.
I tell you what, though, hearing that card read out again has got me very excited to be talking about this.
It was stacked, wasn't it? Unbelievably stacked.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much what NXT do now. There's barely, they never stick in a little 5-minute, cool down match. It's just big all the way through.
Thing is, they've got so much talent now. There is no. I think they'd be hard pressed to have a bad matchup.
I
Yeah,
don't know. They've still got
actually.
Damian Priest knocking around.
Yeah,
and what that Forgotten Sons? They're still there as well. Let's not forget.
Well, they've done okay. They've done better than I expected them to do.
What happened to that cool guy that looked like he was from Stranger Things or some 80s Russian? Where's he gone?
Connor Reeves. Are you talking about that guy?
No,
Connor
guy,
Reeves.
The guy who was what tournament was he in? He was in a tournament, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, was he?
He was weird,
was it the breakout one?
Erotic robot type man.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't he?
He looked like the Terminator, but with bleached hair, I think. Yeah, very odd. Made me feel very strange. Good to see him. But yeah, anyway, we should talk about this. I mean, what we've decided to do, unlike all the other WWE pay-per-views that are stacked with toilet break matches and matches we're not fussed about, we're actually going to talk about every single match on this card in order rather than pick out best or worst, because I think they've all got talking points and we want to talk about each of them. We will pick a star performer though, and we will give the pay-per-view a rank out of 10. We've got listener comments coming up later as well, but let's kick things off with hold on a minute, pre-show.
Was there
Brett,
a pre-show?
Brett, did you watch it?
There.
Did you watch it?
So I went to watch it,
Right.
but when I watched the pre-show, I just skipped through to find the match. I couldn't find a match, so I think it was just talking.
Okay, yeah, on their Wikipedia page now. I know when I went on the network, there was an option to watch pre-show, but having a look now on Wikipedia, there was no match, so we don't need to worry about that.
Why would you watch it if there's no match?
I know, weird.
Because it's that Sam guy. Is it Sam?
Sam, who we do the pod with?
Yeah.
Is it Sam, that guy who sometimes appears on the hardest part of the ring?
The guy who's usually on the pre-shows, the really annoying one. Yeah. He was the main talker on it, so I was like, no way.
I think a lot of UK people may well watch it when they're staying up, and it's just I'm just going to go to bed unless I just stick something on. Anyway, the main card kicked off with one hell of a match. Two big guys doing big guy tings. Can I get away with saying tings?
You did it. We're not cutting it out.
I actually wrote that down on my notes, and it was. I felt fine writing it down. Saying it out loud felt like a twat.
Yeah.
The NXT North American Championship match, the rubber match between Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic.
Blimey.
Oof.
This was big meat slamming.
It was. Not much selling going on, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I suppose it wasn't, was it?
Yeah.
I bloody loved this match, though.
Didn't need it. I was a little worried at the beginning when they were not because I think Keith Lee hit a Hurricane Rana pretty straight off, which was awesome, obviously. But they started doing these sequences, and it seemed like either they were, maybe worn out already from schedule or something, and there was they were slow counters and stuff going on, and it wasn't that pacey because they're big guys. So I was a little worried, but then this match just went obscene after that.
It was crazy, wasn't it? It was just finisher, kick out, big move, big move.
Yeah.
I loved it. Bloody loved it.
Yeah, that's interesting. The first half, though, I sort of agree with that. I was enjoying it, but because they can't really have the pace. I mean, I think Dijakovic can a little bit, but Lee's...
I think I've seen them both with the pace, which is why I thought maybe schedule-wise they were a bit... Because it didn't seem... There are some wrestlers where you'd think that was their pace with that sort of stuff, but I'm sure I've seen these guys do those bits faster.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
John, tell us something that you liked about the match, and I'll sulk.
I was going to say that I loved this feud, because when this feud started, both of these guys weren't really doing anything, right? Like, even Lee was kind of way down the card. And it feels like they've had a lot of these matches, and they've all been brilliant. And even this one, it felt like it gave you something different. It's probably just the fact it was like 6 trillion finishes in this one. But I also like the fact that it didn't need a stipulation, like no crazy like street fight or cage match. It was just, this was a rubber match. They just did another great match, and they killed it.
They did.
Yeah, they really did. I was going to say maybe it was like Dijakovic's springboard,
450,
cannonball, whatever it was that he did to Keith Lee on the outside. That was obscene.
That was, I think, throughout the whole night, that was when I winced the hardest. because you'd think in any other situation, Keith Lee would have like moved forward a bit in his chair. Like the accuracy that he needed to hit that without smashing into the tables was
because like
mad.
Keith Lee basically fills the gap between those two tables.
Yeah.
So like there was no error, margin of error at all for his like aiming there, which he absolutely nailed.
I love the bit just prior to that, obviously, with the double chops from Lee to Dijakovic in the chairs. Really enjoyed the old people behind.
Yes.
Did you see them watching and sort of thinking, what is this? Where am I? But yeah, that was really cool. I also particularly enjoyed the spirit bombs, two kickouts from Dijakovic from the spirit bombs, and Lee's face. There was one after the second kickout. Keith Lee's face was absolutely priceless. He's just got it all, hasn't he, Keith Lee?
He does. He's charisma bottled, isn't he? In a massive big vat bottle. Actually, it's not really a bottle.
No.
I think his knees as well are the biggest heroes in wrestling. I don't know how he takes those impacts on his knees.
He must look after them really, really well. All sorts of conditioning, mobility exercises. Because, you're right. I mean, I just don't know how he does the stuff he does.
It's amazing to watch, though. Like, I feel like I've watched a lot of Keith Lee matches, and it still amazes me.
Yeah. I loved his, I think it was earlier on, he did a German, but he didn't fall back. He just stood up, so he essentially like dropped Dijakovic from like his height. That was sweet.
And Dijakovic is massive. Like, isn't he like
so
7
tall.
foot?
Yeah, he reminds me of Sagat from Street Fighter, actually. Kind of that tall, rangy guy.
He definitely, for a massive guy though, because obviously Keith Lee is a thick guy, he struggled a bit delivering that Death Valley driver from the ropes, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he did.
I thought at one point, because he didn't get his head tucked, I thought, oh god, he's going to kill him. But he was going. The weight was going. It was like no stopping it.
When he did the, was that the Feast Your Eyes? No, was that separate? When he was doing the Avalanche Feast Your Eyes, and he was trying.
Oh yeah, maybe it was that.
Yeah, because his legs were really shaking. It's just like, oh my god. But yeah, I mean, I love that. Yeah, like you said, John, brilliant rivalry. I love the respect they've got for each other as well, which I'm sure they have outside of the ring backstage as well. But it's just really, really nice to see, because it could have been easy to have potentially just made Dijakovic a proper heel. But I think it works really nicely, and then the crowd obviously feed off that and throwing respect back at them too.
Yeah, I think Lee put Dijakovic over big time at the end, didn't he? Like lifting him up and stuff.
Yeah,
it's lovely to see.
Lovely stuff.
Also, before we move on, 2 guys that size doing a Spanish fly.
Oh, off the top rope, yeah, bloody hell.
Off the top rope.
I know.
I mean, that's a standing ovation just for that alone.
Oh. Go on then.
I might have to go back and watch that again. Yeah,
right.
Such a good match.
Go on, Brett.
I am standing.
Okay, good, thank you. Right, moving on then to the second match. I mean, quite a tough match to follow, really, when
Definitely.
you think about how the crowd reacted. So Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai are probably going to have to come out with something pretty special, or at least come fast out the gates. And fucking hell, they did that. They really did that. I think maybe briefly, should we just touch upon just like the promo package was really cool. I really enjoyed this feud, and it was nice to have the reminder of the fact that they went through those injuries together and became best friends as they were going through rehab, and everything that happened at War Games. The signs in the crowd, Dakota Y, all that kind of stuff. I felt that the match that they had on NXT a couple of weeks ago was maybe slightly underwhelming, but obviously it was all because they were leading to this. And I thought, we'll get to the ending, but I thought the match was fucking great.
They didn't leave anything off the table. Like, they put everything into this, especially Tegan Nox's face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She has some great facials, that's for sure. They both do. They really are both great at selling that sort of disbelief.
It was more the fact that Tegan Nox seemed to take a lot of stuff in her face. Like
right.
trash cans, bins, kicks.
Sorry. I was just picturing all Tegan's different facial expressions that she was pulling throughout the match. But yeah. I mean, they both took some really, really big bumps in this.
Yeah, and it started so quickly. Like, with obviously Dakota Kai attacking Tegan Nox from in
the ambush,
Then they went through the barrier, and that looked brutal. And there's a DDT on top of the barrier. It was crazy.
Yeah. And then there was the German into the bin as well, wasn't there? The German suplex right on that trash can.
That looked great. That looked so good. It looked a little bit better than the inverted senton that Tegan Nox did into the bin on the outside. when Nigel McGuinness was like, "Why not just run up and kick it?" It just didn't really quite work. But yeah, I mean, they had the cricket bat bit.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I was so excited when I saw it under the ring, because you had a little peek of it. I was like, "Oh, there's a cricket bat under there."
Yeah, amazing.
I thought. Like, talking of like expressions, there was a point where she just like cracked Dakota with the laptop on her knee, and then there was a camera shot where she was just like leaning back on the ring, like looking like a total badass.
Yeah, I thought they both absolutely smashed it, and that the psychological side of things. And this is where it's nice. Like, this is the kind of feud that deserves this kind of payoff and this stipulation.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a blood feud. Like, it was serious heat, this feud. Like, it's been one of my favourite feuds in NXT for a long time, and I maintain that Dakota Kai heel turn. I can't think of a more shocking heel turn in recent memory. I was so surprised by it. It came out of nowhere, like Randy Orton.
It really did, because you just didn't expect them to like have a War Games team lose a player. Player. God. Lose one of their teammates, because. That it's just so unexpected, and it was just brilliant, and just the whole build. And I think that this match, you do, and we've seen a fair few like street fight type things. I mean, even if you look at the Baron Corbin Roman Reigns one at the Rumble, it just is a lot of plodding around. A lot of them are like moving from set piece to set piece or area to area, whereas this was just go, and they weren't. There at no point were they like, right, let's just set up this. Are we in the right position? Okay, are we going to do this correctly so nobody gets injured? It's just like, fuck you, smash you in the face with this bin lid.
What I also love is that obviously with these sort of storylines, it's quite easy to make the sort of Tegan Nox character like a victim. But I felt like through this whole feud, maybe not at the very beginning, but through most of it, she's been quite a badass in it, like giving as good as she gets. She's come out of it looking really strong and mean. I like that.
Well, I think even though, obviously, because of the way it ended, Dakota getting the win, Tegan gave Dakota the kicking that everyone wanted her to get.
Yeah.
Like, for that heel turn. Like, she took the beating that was needed for, as a fan, to feel... which probably added to it feeling like a great match, because you wanted to see her get a comeuppance.
You did,
as best as she could, sort of thing.
And it really looked as if she was going to get a full-on comeuppance. Yeah. When she was on that table with that chair wrapped around her neck, you're like, oh my god, this is brutal. And then up steps Sonya Deville lookalike.
I've never heard of her.
Raquel Gonzalez. I didn't recognise her at all.
No.
Apparently she's a former Mae Young competitor.
Yeah, don't remember her.
Yeah.
Did feel a bit weird, the end, didn't it?
It did. At the time I was like, no, because I was loving it. I was loving it so much. I was like, this is amazing. Here comes a great finish, and this is going to be one of my matches of the year. And then you get that ending. I didn't hate it as much as some sort of, when people get involved, because the match before it was so good, but it did feel like a bit of a shame. I mean, we'll see what happens, obviously.
I still think it's my match of the night, this match.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely one for me as well. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it anywhere near as much as I did. I think it's because it had such a great pace, and it was different as well. It, like, for a street fight and etc., it served up something different.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd love to. I think I'm going to have to go back and watch it again. Next match.
Yeah.
Should we move on to this? This is another good match, which is what tends to happen with NXT. It was Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Another brilliant VT, just reminding us how... Well, I mean, firstly, reminding us how great that Balor heel turn was.
Yeah, actually, that's a good one. That's on the list as well, isn't it? Actually, that's probably higher than Takeover. Take it back.
Yeah. I'll be bringing up Gargano's heel turn at some point as well.
Oh, no, that's fine. I think...
Okay, fine. But Finn's was great. And I think I'm really enjoying this character, the Finn character now. It's really cool, really interesting.
The Prince Devitt one.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, I got confused when I saw
Prince Balor, didn't they? Yeah, Prince Balor.
Yeah, across the thing. I was like, what's happened? Has he had a name change? Has he gone back? But yeah, Prince Balor.
Yeah.
He's good as a heel. I like it.
Yeah, I like the fact his wrestling style feels a lot more aggressive.
Yes.
I think so. He seems a lot more focused, definitely.
Yeah. Like his sling blade seems to, I don't know, feel a bit more zap to them. Is zap the right word I was looking for?
Zap.
Zap
A bit more zing.
That's better. Thank you, Brett.
We should also say that Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, two absolute specimens.
Oh, yeah, this was the hot bod match, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. When they were standing opposite each other at the start, I was just like, John is going to be loving this.
It's just those abs. Like, how do you get abs like that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a lot of sit-ups, but it's probably mostly diet, right?
No, that's where I fall apart.
Eating lean and clean at all times.
I thought this match was good. I thought the first half was a little slow, and I was a little bit like, okay, this is all right. I'm enjoying this. But the last half, I felt was really aggressive, and they're sort of knocking lumps out of each other. Yeah,
there was a bit. I agree, because I wasn't like fully, invested at the start. But there was one point where Finn Balor was stomping on Gargano's neck, and he was really looked like he was leaving something in there. It was a few of them, and it was like it certainly got hard hitting.
I'd say the coup de grace at the end was one of the most brutal ones I've ever seen.
Fuck. Yeah. I think sometimes he can't really tell what's going to happen when he leaps off. Like sometimes they do just sort of slip off. Sometimes he manages to do well with like bending the knees and obviously taking out a lot of the impact. But a lot of the time it just looks absolutely brutal. Like there should be broken ribs involved. But I quite like the start. I like the lovely bit of mat wrestling at the beginning, particularly with Finn Balor's press ups that he was doing.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a awesome bad guy.
Yeah, and then he was also doing the dragging the elbow across the face. And Ronaldo at that point said it was like a cat scratching its sunburn. and then I got distracted from the match trying to imagine what that would actually be like.
Yeah, what is that about?
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed. What I really enjoyed was Gargano's selling. Like obviously Balor was targeting his left knee and his left leg, and there were just bits where, like during Gargano's offense, he didn't forget that he was supposed to have a bad leg, and that's always a sign of a pro. You don't just jump up and do your thing. You're still selling at all times.
I think he's up there with sort of Ric Flair and his selling ability, Gargano. I think that's kind of what makes him stick out as well. I think he's so good at selling.
Yeah.
That's what makes you care in his matches, I think. It just draws you in. You kind of want him to win.
Yeah. Really, really clean wrestling, I think. Just like hardly any errors, anything like that. Just really, really nice. What did you guys think about the table spot they did without moving the monitors?
Ouch. Also, that
dangerous.
A Spanish announce table did not give a shit. Like a couple of times throughout the night, people tried to go through that, and it was not taking any of it. Which is weird for the Spanish announce table. Normally they crumble like dust.
Maybe they're like the Spanish people have started getting a bit embarrassed about the state of their tables.
The craftsmanship of their tables. Do you reckon they import them in? So they're proper, a bit like embassies. Embassies are like the soil. So each announce table from each nation is actually from that nation.
Definitely made with Spanish wood and Spanish glue and Spanish screws and definitely. and it just happens that they all end up being made to look absolutely identical. It's just a coincidence.
Oh, nice.
Or maybe they'll get sent the same spec when they're manufacturing them. Who knows? Probably could have just left that at your part of the joke.
Anyway, wrestling.
Wrestling.
This match was good, but it's one of those matches where you're not going to remember it really in a couple of weeks.
Maybe there's not an awful lot that was memorable within the match, but it was very, very good during it.
Finn's best match in NXT, certainly.
Yeah, I love his 1916. That DDT looks great.
Got so vertical in this one as well. Like Gargano, he fully rotated over.
Yeah, I think that's probably fairly easy with Gargano. Quite small, isn't he? Quite small and light.
Little fella.
Yeah. Anyway, another very good match, which leads us now on to the fourth match of the night, which was for the NXT Women's Championship between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. 2 stars. They referenced, they're bright young stars. Ripley, 23. I had to Google, but Bianca Belair is actually 30.
Okay. Youngish.
Wow.
I mean, young to us, but older than I was expecting. Do you think this one sort of suffered from the fact that the result was never really in doubt, given WrestleMania stuff? And
I really enjoyed this as well.
Really?
I thought it was okay.
I did enjoy it. Unlike the other matches, I know there was not really any massive moves or stuff from them, like the obscene stuff that was happening in the first match, and like I say, there was no real mega brutal moments. But I just thought, I don't know, maybe it was fresh because I haven't seen. I've seen Bianca Belair a fair bit now, but she's still fresh, and so the moves that they're doing are still fresh, and it just seemed like something new to me that I haven't seen lots of times.
Yeah, she does offer something different, doesn't she, Bianca Belair? She is very strong.
Yes, I mean the military press on Rhea Ripley, who's not, she's not Candice LeRae, is she?
She's tall and
she
stacked.
She's and broad, yeah.
I did think there was a couple of, the beginning of the match, there was a couple of weird little botchy moments. They went up for the suplex twice and it did not work.
Yeah.
She couldn't get her up.
But I think the rest of the match was good. The Gorilla Press was insanely good. There was a great spine buster. I love a spine buster. There's a bit where Rhea Ripley I thought was going to break every bone in her leg when she sort of went over.
Oh, what went over the the
Yeah,
backdrop over the ropes.
Back body drop.
I can't believe that did not shatter every bone.
I think she looked a bit surprised that it didn't either.
Yeah.
She sort of looked like there was shock in, like, I'm not in that much pain. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also, we forgot to mention the hair whip.
Oh,
which is always good. Such a great noise.
They were hitting some nice, like, open palm strikes on that bit, weren't they? On the thingy, like, really going for it, finishing with the hair whip.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I think I did like it and I was enjoying it. I sort of felt like the end sort of just happened. There wasn't much of a build to the end. I mean, I'm not saying it should have been like most of the other matches where there was just kick out, kick out, kick out, kick out, but it was like, oh, something's happening in the corner. Oh, there's a riptide and that. Oh, right, okay, it's over.
Yeah. Did feel a little bit hurried, but I'm okay with that. I feel like Bianca Belair is going on to bigger, better things. Like, they're obviously very hot on her. Like, she had an amazing Rumble appearance.
Yeah.
She's still top dog one of the top dogs in NXT.
Bigger and better than the NXT Women's Championship.
I reckon she called up.
To something bigger and better.
As in main roster.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I thought it was
maybe a sideways move or a slight step down to SmackDown.
It's probably a bigger paycheck.
Yeah, that's true. Should be having matches with Lana soon enough.
But obviously, Charlotte turned up. It's happening. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, WrestleMania.
Charlotte really is the queen, isn't she? She just doesn't look like a wrestler. Like if you weren't watching, you'd be like, why is this sort of was going to say supermodel, but I don't want to big her up too much. But she just looks like some sort of glamour model in the nicer sense. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to use the right words, and I'm absolutely failing.
I feel like she gets taller every time I see her on TV.
Glamorous.
She looked great. Yeah, she came out.
Oh, yeah. I could have just said that, couldn't I?
Yeah, she looked a boss.
She did. She looked absolutely incredible. And, really excited about that. I loved her lifting up the NXT women's title at the end. And that match should be something special.
Yeah, so is it going to be for the belt?
Well, I mean, it very much looks like it. Yeah, because she gets to choose
which
title
belt she goes for.
A champ to take on.
Which is going to be really, intriguing, because I've no idea how that match will go.
No.
There's some rumours that maybe they'll even get Belair involved, and it could be a three-way just because of, the fact that Charlotte attacked Belair at the end as well.
Yeah, and that she's not going to go... Yeah.
I mean, that might be quite nice to avoid just having 3 straight women's title matches on the card to chuck Belair in. I mean, obviously, maybe they were testing the water a bit with her at the Rumble, and she's totally proved herself. So people are aware of her, so maybe that could work well.
Yeah, I'll be up for that.
Cool. But yeah, I think it's probably my least favourite match. But I still
it's hard, isn't it?
Good.
Like they're all great, but yeah, I probably agree. It's probably lower down on the list, I guess.
Okay, so coming up to the penultimate match now, which was the NXT Tag Team Championship match between the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and the Broserweights, Matthew Riddell and Peter Dunne. Brett, I want you to answer this completely seriously. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish?
5.
Okay, what... I mean,
5 fish.
Tuna or something? That's all you think he could manage?
Yeah, 5. Yeah, because I don't think he'd have the enthusiasm to fry more than that. Maybe 5 if he's setting a meal for him and Undisputed and someone else.
Yeah, don't waste.
Because there's only 4 of them, isn't there?
But what if it's like whitebait or sprats or something? Like you could do
it's
loads.
not whitebait, is it? It's it's obviously just a...
You didn't clarify.
Sea bass. He's frying up some sea bass.
He's got that good WWE money. Of course he's going to sea bass.
Yeah.
Okay. John, agree with that? 5?
I think 0 because he's vegan.
Oh, there you go.
Is he?
I don't think he is, but I'm taking it apart.
I was going to say, did do my research, but then you're just making it up. God.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Anyway, yeah, so I think... are we up to date with NXT? Have we enjoyed the build to this? Have you seen the little videos on YouTube of Pete and Matt traveling across the country? How funny is that? I absolutely love it.
It's just great to see. Also, it's like 2 guys we've seen at Riptide.
Yeah. The 2 guys we saw all over the UK. Well, we didn't see them all over the UK, but were all over the UK for so long.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love Pete. This kind of works for Pete because he kind of doesn't have much charisma in many ways. Like when he actually talks, he's quite wooden. So this kind of role where he's just the straight man and he's just doing his shrugging and his like straight face works really well. And then you've got Matt Riddle just being an absolute clown, just being himself, but being super aware and playing up to it as well. It's so funny.
Yeah, and I thought Riddle was amazing in this match as well. I think he was like a star performer. He was all over the place.
Yeah, he was. And before we get on to the rest of it, there was one moment in this where it made me desperate to see Matt Riddle, Kyle O'Reilly singles match. I just want to see that match.
Good, isn't he?
Not a tag match, just those 2 in a singles match would be just off the chain.
I thought that as well during the match. I was like, I'd love to see Kyle O'Reilly have a singles run. I mean, obviously, he and Fish, probably one of the best tag teams. Yeah. Obviously in WWE at the moment, but even since we've been doing the podcast for sure, they'd probably be maybe the best WWE tag team. They're so good, such a great team. Obviously,
I was thinking I might prefer it with Roddy in there instead of Fish.
I did prefer the Roderick O'Reilly, and that's no Fish because they are amazing. But that run of O'Reilly and Roderick was just I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed them as a partner because I think Roderick Strong is an amazing.
I'm a lot hotter on Fish than I used to be.
Is that because of his salt and pepper look that he had now?
Oh my God, it looks good on him, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was like, has he been dyeing his hair? Because I don't remember this, like, you know, bit of distinguished grey. And I thought,
grey in the beard.
Dude's handsome. Didn't realise. Just a little bit of grey and changed him.
He looks like a really hot dad, doesn't he? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. That's dad bod right there.
Guys, is it like, I'm a dad, I've got grey in my hair. Are you saying I'm really hot?
You're the Bobby Fish of the podcast.
So you'd prefer it if Sam was here, the Roddy Strong. Okay, I understand. Anyway, yeah, the match, great, really good, really fantastic match. I thought I enjoyed the start. I enjoyed them sort of focusing on Dunn, and then Riddle getting his bit where he explodes into the match and just takes on both of them. Kyle O'Reilly doing his amazing selling where he nearly falls through the ropes twice. Over the middle rope and then over the bottom rope, and the crowd sort of laughing. I think that's one of the things about him. He brings like this humour and this originality to the match that you don't really see from anyone, but he also backs it up with amazing technical ability too.
Yeah, and great kicks and stuff like.
Yeah, and his submissions. All the submissions look amazing.
It looks brilliant. Yeah, I really, he's really fun, like you say, to watch on both sides of the spectrum. Is Matt Riddle the best hot tag going? Because, you know, like, we always see these hot tags come in and the person coming and killing it, but the way Matt Riddle comes in and just hits all these moves on both guys, he's not just going to hit a couple of clotheslines and, you know, a spine buster or something. He's like just going to hit everything on both of them for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, Broton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Does anyone, just change subject slightly, does anyone think that Dunn's starting to look a lot like Moser?
Yes. There was a moment where he looked like Damon Moser.
So much. It's like, what's going on here? I've never seen them together. Are they the same person?
That is a huge compliment to Damon Moser. And that is not a diss, Damon, if you're listening. Yeah. What I enjoyed about this is that I kind of thought it was probably time for Undisputed Era to lose the belts, but I liked that they had the sort of signs of greenness as a team for the Broserweights, like the miscommunication.
Yeah, they had a spear and stuff.
Yeah, and especially because it was towards the end, so you sort of thought, oh, okay, maybe Undisputed Era are going to retain. Yeah. So it kind of made it a nice surprise when the Broserweights did then go and win.
I literally leapt out of my seat when they got the pin. I was so excited for them to win.
Nice.
But what was that combo they did to win? Was it like a Brota sleep and an Enziguri? I can't.
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
It just looked so good and so brutal.
Good. Yeah,
like I was like,
they've got great chemistry.
They're not kicking out of that.
No. Yeah, really, really good match, and interesting to see what happens now with Undisputed Era moving forward, and then obviously Broserweights. You know, they should both be successful singles stars in the long run. So it'll be interesting to see how long they keep the belts. But there's a lot of fun to be had with them.
NXT is quite good at people who are put together during the Dusty Tag Tournament, like Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, actually, and then sort of winning the belts and then going off into having really good singles careers.
Yeah,
there's still a chance.
I kind of hope they sort of do it and then maybe lose them and then still respect each other and like, okay, cool, let's go back to singles, rather than you can't really see either of them turning, can you? I mean, I suppose maybe
I'd love
Pete
to see
Dunne,
a match between them though, wouldn't you?
But it's not like we're going to have a heel turn from Matt Riddle, is it? And Dunn, he's just, everyone loves Dunn.
I was thinking during this match, like, what would a heel Matt Riddle look like? Because as much as I love Matt Riddle, I bloody love Matt Riddle, I don't think this gimmick has much longevity. You know, it's certainly not main roster gimmick,
isn't it?
He doesn't have a gimmick.
Not why Vince is alive. I suppose he lives a gimmick.
He doesn't. He's just him.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's got longevity because I don't think it's a gimmick. I think it's just him. It's his personality. I don't think. I mean, it'd be surprising if he could do something different, but I don't think he can.
Stoner Surf Dude is. I mean, there are a lot of people like that in the States. It needs to be represented.
Plus, it helps that, you know, he was this guy while, you know, fighting UFC. He was the same guy doing that, fighting, legit. So
yeah. And I love that, when he brings it, he fucking brings it. And when he's got that serious look on his face and the adrenaline's pumping, then he is as a proper athlete.
He looks like an action man as well, like body type wise. He's so broad and muscular.
Yeah, I thought this during the match. If I had to swap bodies with anybody in WWE, I think it would be him. I mean, it's a shame about the mushroom tattoo. I'd probably go and get that sorted out. But his physique is kind of like perfect. Anyway, we're in danger of referencing men's physiques far too much in this episode. I think we should move on.
Next match,
2 hot bods in the shape of Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. What do you think of the build to this one? I kind of feel like there wasn't as much heat. I think Ciampa's done an amazing job, but
yeah,
I kind of wasn't I wasn't frothing.
You love using that phrase, frothing. It sounds so gross.
I know, I think that's why I like it. And it's funny because when you say frothing, you kind of can't help but froth at the mouth when you say it. I'm literally frothing. But yeah, I wasn't like super hyped for this in a weird way. How are you guys feeling?
No, I don't think it's weird. And not that I'm saying these people are the same, but it just feels like a similar match to Ciampa versus Gargano. And, perhaps that's why I wasn't mega excited about Gargano versus Finn Balor, because even though Finn Balor's new, there's a similarity to some of these guys. So it's going to be a great match. Like you're not expecting it to be a dud at all, but it's something you feel you've seen.
That was the main question I was going to ask: is is it time for NXT to move away from these 30-minute epic matches where literally every single finisher is kicked out of, and there's just kick out after kick out after kick out?
It would be nice if they mix it up a little bit, because when you go into the last match on a takeover, you're like, oh well, this is me for the next 30-40 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just that's what's going to happen. So in the first half of the match, you kind of I zone out a little bit because I know it's going to go on for ages.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
definitely.
Also, like, there's something in the Keith Lee versus Roderick Strong. Like there's some great different matchups that they can have. But they're sort of keeping same against same at the moment.
They are. I think that's a good point in terms of knowing how long you've got left. Talking to a mate who tends to watch them live, he always says that's the best thing about watching live is that you just don't know. Because on it could be that they're going to have a 10-minute match. You're just not really sure what's going to happen. But I think in a vacuum, this match was really good. But it's just because it's so familiar. It's so familiar. We've seen the Gargano Ciampa matches. We've seen the Gargano Cole matches. And now to see this, I mean, some of the kickouts. I mean, when we talk about moves like the last shot, fairy tale ending, the Panama Sunrise, and they were just like jumping back up. It's kind of mad, really.
Yeah, I have to say, I did really like. Obviously, Ciampa took that bump to the announce table and then was sort of selling his neck. The way he was selling his dead arm.
Yeah, when he grabbed it to pull it round
was so good, because I legitimately was thinking, oh my god, what's happened to his arm? Has he paralysed it? Well, I mean, why is the referee not stopping the match? But I thought the way he was doing it was so good. Like, it legitimately did have me worried and concerned. Yeah, I mean, his neck is made of glass, so we need to wrap him up in cotton wool.
This is the thing. Like when wrestlers have legit injuries, like Ciampa had to his neck, and then like they always do it, that they focus on those areas in these matches, and you're like, don't, just stay away from it, but they just like go there 10 times more, and so because he took like a Panama from Cole jumped from the table to do a Panama on the outside, and that just looked nasty. Yeah, and I was just like, stop it.
Yeah, I know.
What do we feel about the ending with Johnny Gargano coming down and turning on Ciampa and hitting him with the belt?
Well, what about the stuff just before that? Should we talk about that first?
Okay.
In terms of the Roddy coming out, and then was it all a bit overbooked?
It's just, you obviously know it's going to happen with an undisputed match. Normally when that happens, Adam Cole loses, so it's quite good that it didn't.
Yeah, that's the other thing I think with this match. I was just waiting until they came and interfered.
Right.
That's why with those sort of faction matches, I always prefer it if they start, because you know they're going to turn up because they're faction.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe start at the ring and then get the ref to throw them out.
Yeah. Plus they lost their belts, so of course they're going to be there.
True.
They should have had ice packs on though, shouldn't they?
Yeah, a bit more limping.
Yeah.
And then we had the ref bump, of course, and the low blow, and then the fairy tale ending with no ref. And then, as you said, out comes Gargano, smashes Ciampa with the belt, and you kind of feel again, it's like, does that actually have much impact? Well, considering we've seen betrayals and reunions and betrayals and all this stuff with those two.
I thought they did it quite well because it did because obviously he had the belt and Ciampa went to go grab the belt to hit Cole with it, and Gargano sort of pulled it back as if saying, "No, don't do this." Well, that's what I thought anyway. But then he pulled it out of his hand and whacked him in the head with it.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a swerve, which I quite liked.
Bit of a swerve. I thought what was weird was Gargano looking at the belt like, I want this again. But you just lost to Balor, so you're down in the pecking order.
Yeah, that does feel weird.
You're not next in line. If, sort of thing. So that felt weird about it as well.
And you just think we saw, Gargano's turn when DIY came to an end was phenomenal and absolutely massive and seismic and huge and led to the amazing feud and all that. But we also saw Gargano have a turn himself, and it kind of, when he attacked Aleister Black, and that kind of went okay, but it's just weird because obviously everybody at Full Sail and NXT in general just adore him, and he doesn't really work as a heel. So it'd be interesting to see because obviously the crowd love Ciampa now as well. So how's that going to work? Are they just going to both be favoured by the crowd, or are they going to try and turn him full heel, or is it just going to be he's just like, sorry, I just needed to do it because I need to win this title off Adam Cole, or I don't know. It's weird.
Well, yeah, because it kind of sets off a feud with Ciampa, but obviously maybe it's for the belt. I'm confused.
I don't really want to see. I don't want to see Gargano Cole again because we'll probably get another 45-minute match with loads of kickouts.
Yeah, yeah.
And where does Finn Balor fit in all this?
Yeah,
exactly. It does feel weird to be complaining about these like epic, amazing matches, but it just shows that we love NXT because they tend to have these kind of matches. But I do feel as if they're having too many of them, and like you said, Brett, there's different types of wrestlers around to maybe be able to mix it up a bit. But
yeah, like they've got they've got I don't know what they've called him now, Trevor Lee. What's his new name? Like
Crimson,
Cameron Grimes.
Crimson.
The Scarlet Pimpernel. They got
he had a good match the other day.
And they've got Isaiah Scott. They've got some new people that are a bit different. In the matches they have as well. So there's lots of potential there. So give us some variety.
Oh, yeah. Brett, you forgot to mention Damian Priest.
Did I? Connor Reeves. No, Reeves. Velveteen Dream's coming back though, yeah?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
He came back, didn't he, last week?
That was excellent.
Now
that was excellent. I love this.
NXT champ I'd like to see.
Yeah, and him versus Roddy. Again, they're bringing in the family stuff. The fact that he had Roddy's wife and child airbrushed onto his tights. Classic WWE, but I'm here.
Did you also see that on Twitter? Velveteen Dream only follows one person. It's Roddy's wife.
Oh my god, that is brilliant. Kind of mad, but brilliant all the same. Anyway, there we go. I think we're in agreement. Really good match, but we've seen a lot of matches like that. So switch things up a little bit, please, NXT. Should we move on? I think that's it.
Yes.
Nothing more to say on those matches. Should we pick out a star performer? This could be interesting. Go on then, John.
I'm going to go Tegan Nox.
Nice.
Because that match did surprise me at how awesome it was.
Yeah, Brett?
Yeah, I'm going to go Tegan Nox as well.
Yeah, I think she's going to get a hat trick because before the match, I was thinking, what is Tegan Nox? Like, I know people seem to like her. She's been given really good opportunities, but I haven't. Yeah. What have we actually seen from her, really?
Well, she in that match, we did see that she really does have the shiniest wizard.
Oh my God, it was brutal in this match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Love that.
You nearly knocked me out of my chair.
Loved her hair. So much hairspray in that hair. Like, when she was pulling some of those faces and there's just shards of it sticking out in all different areas. Yeah, well done, Tegan Nox. You get the hat trick from us. Now we do our overall rank, give the pay-per-view a score out of 10, see how it compares to others. I think it's going to do pretty damn well. I don't have a score ready, do I? No, let's have a think. Brett, do you know what you're going to give it?
No, yeah.
John,
it's a hard one, isn't it? Because if this is like main roster WWE, it's like this is a 10.
Yeah,
10.
It is.
But all the matches on it were great. It just felt like there was something missing. Yeah. Maybe it's just because we've been treated so much, we just gorged ourselves. I'm going to go 8.5.
Okay. Still very good, of course.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you think, Brett?
I'm going to go 8.
8, right, yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to go 9.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm just looking back at scores that I've given. The like NXT Takeover New York I gave a 9.5, Takeover Blackpool, Takeover UK Takeover Blackpool I gave a 9. I loved so much of this, but you're right, there was just a few bits that just meant that it wasn't quite perfect. So I think 9 is good. So I think that makes an average of 8.5, nice and easy to work out with our resident mathematician away in Japan. And 8.5 puts it, where does it put it? It equals WrestleMania 17. It equals Evolution 2018. Just below the Royal Rumble 2019. And where else? Yeah, pretty damn good. Let's face it. That is a very solid score.
Yeah, very good pay-per-view.
Good. Right then, let's have a quick break, compose ourselves, wipe up all the froth, and we'll come back and we'll do the listener comments.
Martinez face off the edge of the ring.
That's one of the hardest part of the rings there.
Right then, John, what have the people been saying about NXT?
Yeah, we've had loads of people get into contact.
We asked them for specifics, didn't we? We sort of said what was your best match, worst match, and your VIP.
So, I'm going to start with Graham Hughes. It says, top-notch, all-action pay-per-view, best match, Nox versus Kai for intensity level brought and storytelling was great, including the introduction of Gonzalez. VIP was Keith Lee for his Hurricane Rana, closely followed by Nox. Worst match, Nox versus the Unbreakable table. That bump at the end she took to that table looked very painful.
Such a shame, isn't it, when it doesn't break? But it did, because she just caught the edge of it.
Yeah.
Well.
Ouch. Loserweight says, great action, disappointing wonk finishes. Match of the night for me was Undisputed Era versus the Broserweights, but would have been Nox versus Kai were it not for the weird end. Worst was probably Ripley versus Belair, but only because it wasn't as fun as their TV match. VIP, Tegan Nox. Angry Welsh Bump Machine.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a band called Angry Welsh Bump Machine.
Yeah, probably.
Capital Cornflakes. It was awesome without a doubt. Best I would have to say was Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic. They need to rename him. That's too hard.
I like it now. I feel like I've mastered saying it, so I'm a fan. I wasn't keen initially, but Dijakovic is quite good. And then you can also always say Dijakovic as well. So
I'm surprised they don't call him the Double D.
Very true. I did enjoy the fact that when I was doing my notes for Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, I could just kept writing RR and BB. It's really good for my shorthand.
Captain Clavers also says, saying one of the matches is worse is doing it a disservice to any of them, so I can't say any of them was the worst. VIP was Tegan Nox or Keith Lee. Come on, Capital Clanface, pick a side. Carl Luckhurst, good show. Disappointments were the involvement on Gonzalez in the Nox versus Kai Barnstormer and the finishes, massive moves, being kicked out so much. No real worst or best match. Interested? VIP goes for Keith Lee or Keith... Oh, come on!
Yeah, everyone's on the fence.
Keith Lee or Tegan Knox again.
Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Mr. Beerface. Best match was probably the tag match, closely followed by the main event, though still reeling from Tomato Champion Screwjob.
Tomato Champion. That's his little nickname for Tommaso Ciampa. Was that hard to work out, John?
When I was putting this together, I almost messaged you guys like, guys, what's Tomato Champion? Have I missed something? Is this like an in-joke that I'm not aware of?
I guess maybe old Mr. Beerface is trying to make it a in-joke for us.
Yeah, there we go.
Will it stick?
We'll see. His VIP was Matt Riddle. Great shout.
Yeah. Great
Thank you for
shouts.
getting in touch, everyone. Always love
Thank
to
you
hear
very
from
much.
you.
It is. Thanks, guys. Okay, so next podcast, we are going to be back next week. We're not going to have another 3-week break. Sam, hopefully, will be back from his sex cruise and time for next week's episode, which is... What is it? Is it
Elimination Chambar?
Is it definitely?
I think it is, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah. No, it is. Although they do have Super Showdown, February 27th.
On the 22nd?
February 27th. So actually, guys, this means that
27th.
next week isn't Elimination Chamber. This is interesting, isn't it? So I think what's going to happen is next week we're going to come back with something new. So maybe a top 5, maybe a rewind, maybe something completely new. Who knows? But we'll definitely do something. That's episode 99. And then we're going to be recording our 100th episode. And then we'll be back with Elimination Chamber. Does that sound right?
When is Elimination Chamber then?
8th of March. So actually, like 2 weeks away or longer. So yeah. So so next week we'll do something different. We definitely will do something. We'll let you know on social media. When it comes to episode 100, as you know, we like to be a bit self-indulgent here on Hardest Part of the Ring. Episode 1, we talked about all of our memories from wrestling, how we got into it, favourite wrestlers, stuff like that. Episode 50, we did our top 50 favourite wrestlers. And for episode 100, I think we're going to kind of do a little bit of what we did in episode 1, ask some key questions, maybe talk about our favourite wrestlers at the moment, and generally just have a bit of a celebration. We're going to get together to do it, all 4 of us in the same room.
Get some beers going.
Work out what move we're going to do to Sam, and answer a load of questions. So please do get in touch if you have anything you'd like us to discuss, and we might have another few things up our sleeves as well. So we have to work on that, and we'll let you know the details closer to the time. So yeah,
cool.
Bet you're all very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, if people want to get in touch, Brett, can you remember how it's done?
They can send their emails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, and they could get us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. We are at hardestpartpod.
Brilliant. And I believe post show 100, we're gonna get a refreshed shop up online at some point. Is that right?
Yes, with
Cool.
new stuff.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Okay, well, until next week when we return with whatever it is we return with, it is thank you from me and goodbye. It is goodbye and thank you from John.
Goodbye.
And it is thank you and goodbye from Brett.
Goodbye.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring. For the hardest part